This past week, I think it was Thursday, the Choya League battles, Haya hosted. And then Tricky won that.
Congratulations.
Then Tricky, after that, with the reward money, went to the East Coast take. Is it East Coast takedown?
Throwdown.
Okay. East Coast throwdown. Okay. And took first place. And I think followed that was by VF Numbers taking second. And third place was Griffy Bones, and this was in Connecticut. And then we had in the Japan side, they did their Kumite Dojo special, which was to advertise and promote the 3-on-3 team tournament format that SEGA is doing for their Challenge Cup series, trying to get the under 22 age play in the tournaments. Okay.
Yeah, and I thought that was really good stuff, and it's good to see also like more and more of the pro players saying, "Hey, I want in on that action." So I think Jin Kage was like, "Hey, you guys, put me on a team, put me in charge of a team." So.
And you see, and some of the more events coming soon, we have KTQ online tournament. The Rocky Mountain Throwdown. This is the first time they'll be trying to host a online tournament. That would be on September 10th. First place gets $100 and a KTQ hoodie, and second place gets $50. So you could register for that. It's during it's a Saturday.
Yeah, lots of good event news. Another one too is that speaking especially that we mentioned East Coast Throwdown earlier. It's been announced that Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown will be at Northeast Championships in December. So NEC will have Virtua Fighter. That's a huge major, and so I think that's exciting news that Virtua Fighter will be there. So I think a lot of players should plan for it. I think a lot of players already are planning for it. Though I did hear that Assassin has a wedding to go to that weekend. So.
Alright, and so that's NEC, and that'll be in December. We also have, I think a lot of people is going to pay attention. It's a Tokyo Game Show, and that'll be about 2 weeks from now. Hopefully we'll get some interesting news from there. They have some
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, no, the big news, the thing that we really got to emphasize, Virtua Fighter Esports is being featured at Tokyo Game Show, right? SEGA is putting money into their presence there, not just as attendees, but they're actually having, they're actually part of SEGA's lineup there. So, and I think that's a really big deal. Of course, I don't want to set expectations too high. It could just be a DLC announcement. It could just be a league announcement. But it's wonderful that they're investing money at a big event for Virtua Fighter.
The Challenge Cup qualifiers will begin in October, and then also from the Japan side, after the first qualifier, a very strong Sarah player, is organizing the Zodiac Cup. That'll be a 3-on-3 online team tournament in which the requirement is, from what I could read and understand, is that you have to choose people on your team that has the same zodiac sign. So I guess it's either going to be everybody the same. I'm not sure if there's a requirement that all have to be different age. So if that is a requirement, then you'll have 36, 48, 24-year-old person team up together. So the Japan side had make a lot more variety on the events.
I claim an unfair advantage to Virgo for that tournament, so for the Zodiac Cup. So.
There's also the interview with Harada and Aoki from 4Gamer's that had a lot of juicy information. So I think
that one really was. Yeah, that interview, I assume a lot of people have read that interview. If you have not, go to virtuafighter.com. There's a translation of it right in the front page. And that interview is, and of course, translations could have mistranslations, so always be careful with the information you get from a translated interview. But that interview was awesome. So it's gonna have stuff that most stuff in it is gonna make you happy. Some stuff is gonna make you go, huh? But it was an awesome interview.
Yeah. So with the Harada and Aoki interview, I guess the most surprising or the most shocking news was how Aoki was given the invitation to attend Evo and declined.
So I'm mixed on that one. I think I have a similar reaction to the one that Mike had expressed on Twitter, where it's kind of like, you have a slight reservation because you feel like maybe there's a missed opportunity. At the same time, if he did go, there's a lot of pressure on him to have some kind of news. And there is this fandom goes nuts in both directions, right? There's fandom happy that he's at Evo because it shows Virtua Fighter is looking at Evo and that they're looking forward and they're looking at the global. So that is amazing, right? There's also the fandom going kind of oh hey, they didn't announce rollback just like everybody else at Evo did. They didn't announce this. No DLC. What the hell are they there for? And so it's you can't make the fans really happy. But it's true that if they were there is, I think, a net positive in that.
Shows a little support to the community. I mean, but yeah, it's basically
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go ahead. I think you go ahead.
So basically, Harada sums it up, right? He basically say, why did you not go? But then he could understand why he would not want to go. So.
But also Harada can back up his point because he did his pretend skit where he went up and pretended to beat up the casters over a teaser of a teaser, and then everybody kind of joked that he would run away because he's not going to announce Tekken 8, and so Harada is like, hey, nothing really bad happens even if you have no news, but Tekken had that teaser of a teaser, so.
Yeah. Also, that interview that was put on 4Gamer was actually done in June, so that was before Evo.
Yes, it was. Yeah, so that's before Evo. I thought it was just, it was a good expression. Just, I love what Harada said in that. So I think you were the one who wrote the lead-in on VFDC, but yeah, Harada expresses a lot of. They do express kind of their awareness of the more global fighting game community aspect of this, and tournaments as well, and some of the concerns. And I think those points were good. Aoki, maybe it kind of expresses that his perspective is still very Japan, but they're trying. They're really, really trying. But when you read the interview, you can kind of get the sense that, Aoki is kind of like what we're used to from Japanese developers, right? And Harada is the guy who seems to actually be watching all over the place.
He's more in tune with the global situation. But
and I think it's good. I think it's good that they've got this, even if it's just PR, but I think it's more than PR. But even if it was just PR, I think it's good that they have this dialogue between SEGA and with Harada. And Harada, I feel like this is Harada really trying to throw a bone to VF a lot. And not trying to make Harada a bigger deal, it's just more that these perspectives help. And, look, the community is not thinking that Harada's the best either. He's controversial as anybody. But people will, beat him up over Tekken's quote unquote rollback netcode. But it's, I think it's really good to see, and I think it shows a lot of goodwill going forward for VF. And then again, the news of them being at TGS is really huge to me. Just means it's continued support. Support is alive. Money's being spent. So VF, Virtua Fighter still in development, and by that we mean the series is still in development. Also, want to say another congratulations. So East Coast Throwdown We had Tricky won the East Coast Throwdown, but second place was VF Numbers. Huge congratulations to the amazing community member that is VF Numbers, who has consistently been the most consistent streamer in VF, and also has just always been such a good personality and helped a lot of people play better, and hosted rooms that got a lot of people together. Also, congratulations to Griffey Bones, one of the newer members of the VF community who plays all kinds of fighters, but always comes back to Virtua Fighter, and it shows you how much they love Virtua Fighter. So I really want to say congratulations to you three. And again, Harpooneer, one of the best commentators we could ever hope for in the community. You know, I love Harpooneer as a commentator and as a player. So they were there as a player, but I just want to give a shout out to Harpooneer. And yeah, want to squeeze those in before the next league.
Okay.
So,
and we'll start the league now. So good luck, everyone.
Good luck.